Labour Department's been inspecting a factory in Germiston, suspected of not complying with the country's lockdown regulations. Our reporter Hitekani Magwedze was there monitoring that story for us today.
Well, while the police and the soldiers ensure individual compliance in townships and suburbs across South Africa, the South African Department of Labour has been doing the same, except in where they are working, they are ensuring a compliance where companies and corporates are involved. In fact, the Department of Labour has been doing quite a number of inspections and raids across South Africa, and in the past couple of days have done so here in Johannesburg. One of them yesterday was a raid of an atchar production company, and they, as far as we know, ended up closing that company down and left them with a couple of fines. But we are joined today by the department's advocate, Caesar, who has just gone inside the Valley Logistics here in Germiston as part of the inspections on compliance. Advocate, thank you very much for joining us. Firstly, just tell us what you found inside and the information that you had initially before you went inside.
Well, when we went in, we had a tip-off that there could be non-essential services that are going on in the company. But on arrival, we didn't find non-essential services. We found them only to be doing essential services that they are certificated for or permitted to do. And the only non-compliance that we established in terms of Occupational Health and Safety Act is that their DP box was breached, and we said that DP box should be prohibited, and we prohibited it. And second, we prohibited the DP box, yes, and we also prohibited the use of men cages. So, but nonetheless, in terms of COVID-19, no, they are compliant, including compliance in terms of making sure that there are sanitizers and making sure that the employees are having masks, and also the number of employees that are there are very few in terms of the numbers, because a lot of them are not on duty due to them working in non-essential services.
Now, Advocate, you've been dealing with a number of these companies throughout the week, even last week as well, if I'm not mistaken. What have you found to be the level of compliance in general? Is there a willingness, or are there companies that are trying to take chances at this very difficult time?
There are companies that are complying generally, and like this one, in terms of COVID-19 measures, they are definitely complying. But then when we look at certain companies, like we have closed down 2 ShopRite stores this week on Monday, and we repeated the same thing at Chris Hani Mall in Vosloorus. We shut down 1 ShopRite outlet as well because of non-compliance. But we are told that they are putting measures in place to make sure that the social distancing is observed, because there are cashiers as well and their security officers were not observing social distancing, and at the same time they did not have a necessary mask or barriers that were supposed to be in place. But now the store is closed. They are busy putting those measures in place.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Advocate.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was the Advocate Caesar of the Department of Labour. We understand that the department is going to be holding quite a number of these inspections and raids throughout the days coming to ensure that companies do comply with the regulations as stated or gazetted when the President gave out that lockdown announcement. It is very important for companies to do so, because when they don't, they obviously put the lives of their employees at risk, and they are required to ensure that they comply. If they are not essential services, they are required that they let their employees go home and be under the nationwide lockdown. But there will be certainly a number of these other raids, and we will bring them to you here on Newzroom Africa.